Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. Now, if Gilbert the Moose is as popular in your house as it is in mine, we have a bona fide local celebrity right here in studio, Rick Pieros, Park City photographer extraordinaire. Good morning.
Good morning.
So I want to jump right into the Gilbert the Moose book, because this was really a passion project of you and your family, and it has become just a Park City institution, and it's so popular. Tell us a little bit about how Gilbert came to be.
Well, Gilbert the Moose was an idea that I had for a children's book, and I always really loved all the sculpture on Main Street, and so I wanted to have a story where a moose could basically, walk down Main Street and talk to all his friends. And so his friends, like the cow at Java Cow, and the deer at Grappa,
yep,
and Franz the bear, which is down lower.
One,
and
yeah.
So I came up with this idea of Gilbert losing his antlers and wanting to know if they're going to grow back, so he'd go ask all his friends. And it was kind of a family project when we were trying to come up with a name for Gilbert, my 5-year-old. We asked her what we should name the moose, and she just said Gilbert.
She knew right away.
Without skipping a beat, and we're like,
this looks like a Gilbert the Moose to me. He does look like a Gilbert.
He does look
I
like
think
Gilbert.
5-year-old picked the perfect name. Kids know. So you in order to write a book like this, where you use so many Park City landmarks and so many things that only a true local would sort of get the first time, you have been a Park City local for 20 years.
Yeah.
And so how did you start with your photography? How did this all sort of come about?
Well, my photography started way back after college. I actually loaded film for a wildlife photographer in Grand Teton National Park. I was spending a summer there after college and just kind of got into photography and kind of wound my way through a number of galleries working for other photographers, and ended up with my own gallery here on Main Street called Wild Spirits Nature Photography.
I remember that gallery.
And it was there from 2002 to 2007. And after that, I decided to move into books.
After you sold the gallery, and I'm sure having a daughter probably made you a little bit more aware of kids' books.
Yeah. When you have a little one, you realize that there are sometimes not so good children's books out there, and so we wanted to write a children's book that had a really great story and told. Tried to teach a story of perseverance and friends, and how your friends can help you and your family members can help you, and it's just become such a fun thing to do. It's like I will actually see people looking at moose on the trails or in Old Town, and some kid will say, "That's Gilbert."
There's Gilbert.
And it always makes me feel good.
You put such a local flavor on it too. So you have the strong messages, and this has become such a popular book, I know, in the gift shops of the ski resorts and on dollies on Main Street for people to take home with them. So the kids have a little remembrance of their Park City vacation. And you created another book that is also a hugely successful book, Park City Past and Present. And this book we see all over town, and like you said, it is in real estate offices, it is in the gift shops, and what I think is so clever about this is you really dove into the historical side of Park City. And tell me, the photography, you said you could just get lost looking at some of the old photos.
Yeah, I collaborated with the Park City Museum, the Historical Society. They were really great to work with, and they have extensive archives of historical photos, and I'll just get lost. I'll be looking for a particular photo to work into the narrative of the town, and I end up looking at photos of old baseball teams from the 20s in Park City. It's just endless, and
it's just
really
crazy to think what Park City once was versus where it is today. When you see some of these photos. And for people who haven't seen this book, I want to find sort of a page. He does this incredible where he shows what it is. Let me get the glare there. Okay, so what it is today, and then above what it used to be. So you can really see these historical buildings sort of in their glory, like the perfect example, the Park City Library, and what is now the preschool co-op, and what it used to be even before it was a high school. So it's really fun to see these before and after, if you will, photographs. And I can see where the realtors really like to use this, because it makes you excited about Park City.
And it's a great medium, and for people who are new to Park City, it really teaches them the history of how it was basically, the biggest silver boom town in the world at the time. There's 10,000 people living in Park City,
which
in
at the time,
1880, which is the same amount now essentially. It's
the same amount of our actual year-round people were there then. So now Gilbert is continuing his adventure, which I think is pretty fun, and this just makes so much sense as the transition of Gilbert. Gilbert is learning how to ski. So this is pretty cool. Tell me about this new book that's going to be released.
So Gilbert, the Park City Moose, learns how to ski. And we wanted to do a follow-up book, and skiing is, of course, you know, what we do here in Park City in the winter. And the illustrations by our illustrator, Corbett Kerfman, who's based out of Seattle, are just great in this book. And you know, Gilbert, you know, when he starts out, he's not having too much fun trying to figure it out, but he decides he is going to take a lesson, and he meets some friends and feels better about it, and finally figures it out.
Yeah, and I think it's so great that I love the illustrations, and they're so sort of happy and fun, and what a great way to introduce kids that might be a little apprehensive about skiing with sort of a safe and sort of fun way to talk about it. I think this is super clever. Now, when does this book get out? When can we officially buy Gilbert Learning to Ski?
It will arrive in stores November 1st.
Okay.
And so you can get it at all the places you see my books, Dolly's, and you know, other places like that.
Other places. So, and are your books available on Amazon as well?
I don't sell my books on Amazon. I do have a website where I sell my books, which is called parkcitybarn.com, or you can just go to gilbertthemoose.com too, and
you're there as well?
Yeah,
perfect, because I bet we have a lot of viewers that are looking, and I know this time of year everybody's thinking about Christmas presents and holiday presents and things like that, and what a fun treat to send to somebody, to send to grandchildren or nieces and nephews. And
especially if they've been here before and they're missing Park City, it'd be a great gift.
Of course they're missing Park City if they've been here before, right? Who wouldn't? City, All right, will you come back with your wife and maybe even your daughter when Gilbert is released?
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun. All right, Rick, thank you so much for being here, and we love your books and your photography, and I hope you continue.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, we will be back with much more right here on the Mountain Morning Show. This is Park City Television.